Well, guess where we are, folks? This is beautiful Plovdiv, Bulgaria, and we are right near the Maritsa River. In fact, come with me. I'll show you the Maritsa River. It is July 1st, the beginning of the second half of the year, folks. Can you believe half of 2025 is gone already? Has it been a productive year for you so far? I hope it has. So that's the river. That's one of the bridges. And what we're going to do is we're going to go for a little walk. And I'm going to talk about a bunch of stuff. I've got some clips I want to play. Of course, I won't be playing them in real life. I'll be editing them in when I get home. And I want you to see what I see when I go for my, I want to say daily walks, but I tell you the truth, folks, I haven't been going for these walks for the last week, and I'll tell you why. It is so hot. We are going through a heat wave here in Europe. I used to say that my climate changes are a hoax. Folks, I changed my mind. I hereby declare that maybe I was wrong, and maybe there is some climate change going on after all, because June, man, the end of June, the last 2 weeks of June, was like 30 degrees, 32 degrees Celsius. We're talking, what's that in your freedom units? We're talking 90, 95 degrees, almost 100 degrees Fahrenheit at the end of June. It's usually at its hottest in July, even August, and we're getting this crazy non-stop heat. So yeah, I'm changing my mind, folks. I'm now a climate change believer, and I say that the solution to all of these problems is to tax the peasants more and put more restrictions on the businesses that they can run and what they can do with their lives, and force them to drink through straws that are made of paper. No more plastic straws. While Jeff Bezos and his buddies are jet setting around the world, I say we tax the peasants. I say we put more restrictions on what they can do, and hopefully this will get rid of my climate changes, or at least mitigate it to some degree.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
What we're going to talk about? Oh yeah, so this is the path I would usually walk most days, but yeah, for the last week I haven't been doing it because it's just too hot, man. So if I go for a walk, like I like to do my walks in the middle of the day, and then I've got the whole day ahead of me to do whatever I want. But the middle of the day, I go for these walks, I get back, and I'm exhausted. And even after I drink a ton of water, have a shower, try and cool down in the air conditioning, even 2 hours later, I'm like, I want to take a nap or something. I'm getting old, folks, I'm getting old. Your main man, JLB, is getting old, man. But I'll always have the memories of my 20s and my early 30s, man. Those were good times. But not now, I'm an old man. I'm an old man, I can't be out in the summer heat in the middle of the day anymore. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so how do you like the footage from my gimbal? Now, if I press this button 3 times, what should happen is it should flip around to see me. You want to see my man JLB? Let's take a look. Does this work? Does that work? Can you see me? That should be working. Hello friends, it's JLB here, that's right. And so we're going for a walk. I won't take you for the whole walk. I'll take you to the best part, and then we'll make our way back. And then I will probably buy myself an iced latte, and then I will sit there finishing off an article that I've been working on to do with the operation, the bombing of Iran, that's right. But enough about that for now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so this little walk. So I've bought myself a gimbal, bought this DJI Osmo 7 gimbal, and the idea is it's meant to stabilize the camera. So hopefully if you are watching the video of this, you're getting a nice stable view. So even if I move the camera up or down, left or right, even if I start bobbing, like sort of like moving up and down, it should still be stable. I hope so. The thing is though, this camera, the phone that I'm using is a very cheap, crappy phone, so it might be one of those things where the gimbal does its job, but the camera's no good. Now look at this, folks, look at this. Beautiful. If we're lucky, we might even see one of those, what are they called? Lutra? There's some cute little animal here. You sometimes see them. Supposedly they migrated here from South America. How that's possible, I'm not too sure. They wouldn't have swum all the way here, would they? Seems like a long trek. Why would they do that? I don't know. But yeah, I don't see any more right now. If I do see any, I'll let you know. And we also might be fortunate enough to see some frogs. Maybe even a snake. I've seen a couple of tiny little snakes. Not too many, I've seen a couple. What else? I saw a porcupine the other day. That was interesting. And what he did was he tried to play dead. Like I was walking at a pretty, like right now I'm walking pretty slow, right? But normally on my walks I walk pretty fast, and I was just walking at the corner of my eye. I saw what I thought might be. I was like, what the hell was that? Was it a porcupine? So I went back a little bit and I saw him. I'm like, aha. So then I got my phone out and tried to record it, and he decided to play dead. The porcupine, he must have figured that was his best chance of survival at that point, was playing dead. Millions of years of evolution, and that was his plan when a potential predator came towards him, just to pretend he was dead or pretend he was asleep. Now, I wanted to show you this. Can you see that? So every day that I go for a walk, I see this. Now, does the zoom function work? Yes, look at that. Honk. How appropriate. The honk bridge, as I call it. Now, that's the main walking bridge here in Plovdiv. So that's kind of that bridge. If you were to keep going, we're now facing south, right? If you were to keep going south, you would get towards the center of Plovdiv. Probably, like if you're on that bridge right now and started walking south, you would be in the center of Plovdiv within 10 minutes. We're kind of just on the northern side of the center of town. Most of the city is south of the river. And as you can hear, all the birds are going off. They're going nuts. At this time of day, the birds go nuts. Then once the sun goes down, the frogs go nuts. And then when the sun starts coming up again, that's when the birds start going nuts again. Ask me how I know that. But now look at this, folks. Now if you look back that way, look at that. That is absolutely fantastic, if I do say so myself. Very nice. I just mean the view, you know. It's probably doesn't really come through on the camera recording, but in real life, man, this is just absolutely... Maybe this is what I should do from now on. Just go for my walks at like 7 p.m. And the problem is, it means I spend the rest of the day, sitting inside and feeling, hey, I don't know, I'll sort something out, man. But yeah, it's going to be a rough summer, dude. If the last couple of weeks anything to go by, it's going to be freaking 30, 33. They're predicting 38 in a few days. That's like 105 Fahrenheit, man. And again, we're not even at the peak we're not even close to the peak of summer. So yeah, my climate changes, man, it's pretty full on, I say. More taxes, more government regulations, less rights for the people, and no more plastic straws, man. That's the solution to all of our problems, I suspect. Now, where were we? Oh yes, so there's a few clips I wanted to play for you. Let me play just a short clip. This is from Typo from Manchester, who I think sent through, I think he bought JLB 5 coffees earlier today. I got this email from Buy Me a Coffee, and it said, someone has bought you 5 coffees. And I was like, well, normally that only happens when I'm live streaming. I do a live stream and I say, if you want to support what I'm doing, buy me a coffee, and I put a link to the Buy Me a Coffee. Outside of the live streams, no one buys JLB a coffee, really. So I was like, what the hell's going on here? So I checked the thing, I clicked on a link in the email and I went and checked it. And the email address, I was like, is that typo error? So, Typo, if you did buy me a coffee today, I really appreciate that. Here's, guys, if you don't know who Typo error is, this is Typo error a few months ago. Listen to this.
I wish there had been a pandemic. It fucking wipes them out and we'd be still standing.
Perhaps they're treating us like mice in a laboratory. We're a John Le Bon's experiment.
Perhaps we're all mice in John Le Bon's experiment, he says. Interesting guy, Typo error. See you, thanks Typo, if that was you who bought the coffees. I'm going to buy me an iced latte on the way back home. Thank you very much. Now, I've got another clip I want to play for you. This next clip comes to us from Quantum of Conscience. You guys know Quantum of Conscience. Hey guys, it's Matt. Yeah, that guy. So sometimes I watch his videos. Obviously, he's a very intelligent guy and a very likable guy, I would say. Surely you guys would agree with that. He's very likable. He's always cracking jokes, laughing, being silly, but talking about serious things as well. And he's very easy to like to listen to, especially because he talks about how there's a research community, a truth community. He makes you feel like you're part of something, yeah? Like, oh, we're the ones doing the research and we've got the truth. And of course, that's not actually, no one's doing any research. Let's not kid ourselves. But when you listen to him, it makes you feel like, yeah, man, there are some people, they've figured out the not milk, and we are the research community, yeah, man, shit. So he's very easy to like, this quantum of conscience guy, for those reasons and many more. Anyway, he said something a month or two back where I was like, oh boy, I've got to clip that, and I'm going to play that on a JLB clip show. So without further ado, this is Quantum of Conscience talking about the masses. Take a listen to this.
I don't care anymore about the masses. I really don't. As much as I've talked about the not milk, creeps, its minions, its operators, everything that it's up to. Well, there's only two sides here, Matt. It's always two, the red pill or the blue pill. Then you side with the masses. No, I don't side there either. I side with what about yourself. I side with myself. Just because I don't side with the not milk, I don't side with the masses.
Yeah, so that's QOC saying that he blames the masses. The masses are the ones who let all of these things happen. And this is very interesting.
Guaranteed 100%.
Very thought-provoking, I have to say. And so what I did was I included that clip in the latest JLB clip show, episode number 21, which you can download or stream right now for free. Just go and join that free JLB Patreon. All you need is an email address. Create a Patreon account for free, and then you can join whoever's Patreon you want, including mine, for free, and you can then stream or download the latest JLB clip show where I talked about that clip from QOC and more. And basically what I wanted to say was, okay, you want to blame the masses, fair enough. Most of us were a bit pissed off by the masses, man, especially back in 2020, 2021, 2022. It was frustrating because, you know, they're going along with this complete charade is what it was. It's an absolute charade. Hold on a second here. Oh, look at these people just cooling off in the river. And it's a nice day to... Hey, Celeste. It's a nice day to cool off your feet in the river. So anyway, what was I saying? It always spooks me when there's other people and it's like, well, I don't really want them... They don't know I'm going to upload this to YouTube, and don't really like capturing people. Unless they've... You know what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah, okay. Legally, technically, if you're going for a walk like this, you can record, and these people, like, someone could record me, and it's just how it is. Like, you know. But just like on an ethical level, I just don't like to record people for my videos unless they know it's for a YouTube video. You know what I'm trying to say? So it always kind of spooks me. I've got to learn to, like, it doesn't matter, man. Firstly, no one watches your videos. How many people? A few hundred people watch your videos? It doesn't matter. And secondly, you're not doing anything wrong. You're going for a walk, so are they. It's not like you're going to a nudist beach and, like, you know, walking towards people and saying, hey, I want to get some nudie action on my YouTube. I'm not doing that. I'm just going for a walk. It's okay. Anyway, what was I saying?
What the fuck is going on?
So blaming the masses. Yeah, so they go along with this charade, yeah, where you've got to wear the mask and stay 6 feet apart, and where I was staying, at the time I was in Malaysia, everywhere you went, someone was pointing a freaking gun to your head, a temperature gun. Ridiculous, man. Everywhere you went, you have to line up so some idiot can point a freaking temperature gun at your head. It was crazy. Yeah, it was crazy. And so, had all these people just said, look, this is bullshit, man. This is bullshit. Like, then the whole thing couldn't have happened. The whole charade, yes, the whole pantomime depended on the masses going along with it, didn't it? And so for that reason, I can see why QAC and others are pissed off at the masses. I get it. Sure, I get it.
Sure, I get it.
But at the same time, it's like, yeah, but the masses, that's really just a whole bunch of individuals. And each of those individuals is just trying to do their best. They don't know any better, okay? They all are just trying to do their best with the very limited good information that they have in the midst of all of this bad information that is filling their heads day in, day out. And they weren't taught very well. Most of them weren't taught at all how to think logically about the information that's presented to them. Even most of the so-called awake people. Do you think the awake people are spending any of their spare time looking up a scientific study? Trying to read, okay, what was the methodology? What was the sample size? What was the statistical approach to the... No, they're not. No one cares. Most people just don't care. They weren't taught. They weren't raised to think any of this matters. And they certainly weren't taught how to analyze media. And so, you know, they've got these people on their screens going, oh, there was another 3,000 cases in blah, blah, blah. Yeah, of course they believe this shit. So, yeah, I try not to be too critical of the masses. I try. Sometimes it's difficult, man. It is. Anyway, this is my favourite part of the walk. This is like where it's kind of like walking through a little mini forest or something, isn't it? You know, I think we're being followed by old mate. Take a look at this. Hold on. What's going on here? Look at that. Can you see? Yep. Usually when I come for these walks, especially in the middle of the day now it's so hot, there's no one else around. It's just completely empty. These people, they're almost like, I don't know, Spaniards or something. Like in the middle of the day, they just want to go for a little siesta, just relax. I'm not saying the Bulgarians take naps in the middle of the day like the Spanish. I'm just saying, you know, there's no action in the middle of the day in the summer. But the point is, we're not even really in the summer, and yet we're already, you know, it's crazy, man. Yeah, so as you can see, we've got the river and there's a little sunset. Can we see the sun? Don't worry, I'll find a spot where we can see the sun a little better. In fact, maybe even here, unless someone's already taken this spot. Nope. It's empty. Alright, take a look at this, folks. I'm thinking I might come and do some little sit-and talks. How about this spot? Now, normally, it hasn't really been very cloudy lately, but normally the sunsets look orange, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So one day I might come and do a sit and talk around here. But that's okay. Let's get back on with it then. Yes, so this is my little forest part of the walk. And then what I do is there's an exercise park up there that I usually go and do some pull-ups and some push-ups. But like I said, the last week I've been pretty lazy. I have, well, it's not so much lazy, I just don't want to go out. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the masses. Yeah, can't live with them, can't live without them, you know. It is what it is, as so many people like to say these days. Now my friend Linda, I think she's from Ohio, she says it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Fast value, he says it is what it is.
But it just is what it is.
There's a whole bunch of Formula One racing car drivers. They say it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Is what it is.
It is what it is, and yeah.
Conor McGregor, he says it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Anyway, what I've started doing is, whenever I hear someone say it is what it is, I try and get a clip of it to add to my soundboard. I've now got more than 2,000 soundboard clips. More than 2,000.
What the fuck?
From people like my truth uncle, Ab the Fakeologist.
I give up with JohnTheBond.com. Too much blah, 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 blah.
Crazy Ab the Fakeologist, as he likes to be known. Or my other truth uncle, Crazy Dave J.
Dodo, stand up. You are no longer extinct. I need you to walk into that closet naked for 3 days.
Nobody died, nobody got hurt.
No clip show would be complete with at least one clip from Tim Osmond, the president of the Infinite Plane Society.
And oftentimes, the big psyops are forecasted in the trailers. So I make it a point to show up early and watch the trailers. Like when I watch movies, they think I'm some kind of a movie critic. The people at the theater I go to, because I always have a notebook and a clipboard, they're on their best behavior. Like I'm reporting on them or something.
Who else? Oh man, I got clips from all kinds of people. Let's play another one from Typo.
Can anybody hear me?
Should we go sell drugs in the car park?
Bloody hell.
Just the other day I got this clip from Drunk Rollo from Newcastle.
Tell me, ChatGPT.
ChatGPTPTF. Yeah, so I like to get the clips. So what I do is, folks, jokes aside, whenever I hear a podcast or I'm watching a video or listen to a stream and someone says something that I find interesting, I try to like take a note of it and then at some point come back and actually clip that part to add to my clips to be used folder. And that is how I make the clips for the JLB clip show, which I recommend you go and take a listen to. Like I said, you can listen to these things for free. Just join the free JLB Patreon. And then you can stream or download at your leisure. And dude, some of these, like the recent episode, number 21, it's only a 1 hour episode. That took like 8 hours to put together. I'm not even joking. Between the planning, the recording, and the editing, like 8 hours for a 1 hour episode, man. But I think it's worth it. I think these clip shows are fantastic. And most of the feedback has been terrific. The only person who's really complained about the clip shows is my truth uncle, crazy abdifacologist.
I think John is depressed, personally.
And even he seems to have come around lately, because now he's apparently uploading these episodes to his FakoTube platform. So even if you don't want to join the free JLB Patreon, I don't know why you wouldn't, but even if you don't, you can listen to episode 19, which I will link to the FakoTube version in the pinned comment below. That's a 2 hour version. That one took, I can't tell you how long that one took. It was crazy. But one of the things I did for that episode, Paramonkeys, was I exposed the slave labor hoax, because there are all these people, maybe including some of you, who believe that there are these slave laborers. Oh, our iPhones are made by slave. People really believe this stuff. And again, I try not to be too judgmental or too cynical. We've all been programmed with countless ridiculous beliefs and narratives and what have you. And I'm here to tell you folks that slave laborers are in fact a hoax. Nobody died, nobody got hurt jumping from some iPhone factory in China. And you might be like, whoa, what are you talking about, JLB? Of course there are people jumping off buildings in China, man. We saw it on the TV. I'm like, yeah, I know you did. But what we're going to do is go through the evidence, the facts. And it turns out the experts are claiming that there's between 10 and 20 million slave laborers in the world. Well, I went and checked the documents. I went and double-checked what they were saying. And do you know what I found out? Well, you'll find out when you go to that episode 19 of the JLB clip show. Let's just say the hoaxes go a lot further than you think, folks. A lot further than you think. I'll tell you what, we've gone further than I thought. Because the sun's behind a cloud, now it's a bit dark here, and I don't rate this camera's chances of picking up the colour without the sun. But the sun's behind a cloud, and it's a pretty big cloud, which is a bit of a shame. But that's all right. Here's what we'll do. I'll continue walking and talking. Yeah, that's what I'll do until we get to the next bridge. And at least I've got some exercise done for the day. I won't bother with the pull-ups and the push-ups today, man. I'm going to go and get me an iced latte, courtesy of Typo. In fact, I've got an idea, folks. I've just come up with an idea. I'm going to put a link to the Buy Me a Coffee in the pinned comment below, and I will come back and record another of these walk and talks tomorrow, and you can tell me what topic you want me to discuss if you buy JLB a few coffees. How's that for a deal? I'm serious, folks. I'll come and do another one of these tomorrow. What time will I do it tomorrow? Maybe if there's clouds, I'll do it at 5 p.m. If there's no clouds, I'll do it at 7. If there are clouds, I have to do it earlier, because otherwise we get this situation we've got right now where the sun... I mean, what can you do? Like the sun... See what I'm trying to say? Let's zoom in, actually. So if the sun's behind clouds, it's not bright enough. So if tomorrow's a bright, sunny day, I will leave the house around 7 to do one of these walk and talks. If it's a cloudy day, I'll leave at 5, so it's still bright enough to capture all the colour of this little walk that we're going on. And you can choose a topic. You can say, JLB, one time you mentioned how the Twin Towers were built to be brought down. We want to hear more about that. Okay, buy me a few coffees and I'll go for one of these walks. And I'll tell you all about the Twin Towers. Or you might say, JLB, I'm sick of you mocking the Flat Earth redacts. They're just trying their best, man, and you know, who are you to say that they're wrong? Do you think we live on a ball? JLB, do you think you're upside down compared to me? I'm here in North America. Do you really think? Okay, buy me a coffee and I'll talk about this retarded topic of yours, this flat earth nonsense. Jesus Christ, I tell you what, folks, what else have you got? You might say, JLB, what's the deal? Why are you always talking about people radiating their babies? JLB, who is radiating their baby? And I'll be like, who? You really want to know? I'll tell you exactly who. Now, let's see if we can find some animals. Sometimes around here you see little frogs. Let's have a look here. Are there any frogs today? Might not be the right time of the day for them. Well, you can see tadpoles down there. Let's see if we can zoom in. Can you see the tadpoles down there? I don't know if... Oh, there. I think you can see them. I can see them. But where are the frogs? Can't see them. That's alright. Now, you might be thinking, well, JLB, what's with the garbage here, man? What kind of people put garbage in the river? I don't know, man. It's... Like, I don't consider myself a good person. I try to be a good person. But, like, I'm not even that good a person. But the idea of chucking a bottle into a river and just leaving it there wouldn't even cross my mind. Some of these people, they just chuck their rubbish in. I mean, look at this, folks. This is just not good enough in my personal opinion. Look at this. Right? That fucking rubbish in the river? Unbelievable. I mean, no, maybe it accidentally fell in there, I suppose, but... Anyway, what was I saying? I was complaining about something. I'm a boomer now. I'm 37 years old, folks. Is that old enough to just sit around complaining about stuff all the time? There's a huge market for that. You know, the complaint market is a huge market. That's a big dollar. The complaint dollar. Especially in the truth realm. Just sitting around complaining about the lefties, or the kids today, or the taxes, yeah, or the inflation, yeah, or just how things have changed. Not as good as the good old days. There's a massive dollar for that, man. The boomer complainer dollar. Maybe I should tap into that dollar. There isn't really much of a skeptic dollar, you know what I mean? I'm the world's leading skeptic. I'm here to tell you, man, after 10 years of doing this, more than 10 years now, there's not much of a dollar in skepticism, folks. I can sit there and I can say, well, today I've got several scientific studies that I wanted to read through and explain to you the parts that I think might be fallacious and my reasons as to why and how this could be relevant to your understanding of the world. It's certainly changed my opinion. And then people are like, boring. We want to see young women dancing half naked in skin-tight clothes. Yeah, boy, TikTok action. Shit, mate. Or they're like, boring, JLB. What are you going to do? Read more academic papers? Boring. Oh, you've been reading books, have you? Boring. We'd prefer you to sit there and talk about the transgenders in sport and the crazy coloured-haired university student women who are ruining the world. And I'd be like, okay, well, there's lots of people out there talking about that. And you already know. You already know that stuff is whack. Why do you need to hear people telling you about it again? Yeah? Whereas, let me give you an example. Right? Just indulge me for a moment, would you, folks? How about if there's a story in many people's heads, even smart people's heads, that there are slave labourers building iPhones, okay? This is an idea that's in people's heads, normies and awake people alike. And what if there were some academics who seeded that idea into people's heads 15 years ago, almost 20 years ago? And what if I have spent some considerable time, trying to find out who first put this idea in people's heads? Who convinced the masses that there are slave labourers making freaking iPhones? And what if I found out there is an answer? It took me some time, a lot of reading, a lot of note-taking, but I got to the bottom of it. And then I discovered they're not just claiming that there are slave labourers making iPhones in China based on no evidence. It's even worse than that. They're claiming 10 to 20 million slave labourers in the world today. And how did they arrive at that number? Well, I went and checked their methodology. And what I discovered shook me to the depths of my miserable soul. Yeah, boy, shit, man.
If I have a baby, I'm going to call it JLB.
Man, it's freaking late and it's still warm. I'm telling you right now for free. It's freaking warm, folks. It's warm and it's only going to get warmer this summer, most likely. Because of my climate changes. You know, I'll tell you something. Okay, I was being a bit facetious with the climate change stuff earlier. Obviously, taxing people more and giving the government more rights and taking rights away from the people and forcing them to drink straws through plastic, for Christ. No, not plastic. Taking away the plastic straws and giving them paper straws. Obviously, this is not going to change the temperature of the earth at all, obviously. For better or for worse. However, I will say this, and I'm being serious this time. I know sometimes it's difficult to tell, but I mean it, I'm being serious. I seriously did not used to believe in climate change at all. until I came here. And I had so many people, independent of one another, like different people, not a whole bunch of people from the same group or the same, different people of different ages and different backgrounds here in this city tell me that when they were kids, so for some of these people they were kids 15 years ago, for some of these people they were kids 20, 30 years ago, they all tell me when they were kids there was more snow. There were more in the winter. There were more snowy days, and when there was snow, there was more of it, right? Now the first few people who told me this, I was like, yeah, whatever. Anyway, so I'll get back to that story. So anyway, this is another bridge, and I normally continue walking another kilometre or two east, and then once I get to the gypsy village, I turn around and come back, and then I walk this way towards my exercise park, and I do my exercises, and then I walk home buggered, which is normally not a problem, but now that it's summer, I'm too buggered by the end of it, so I need to come up with a new system. Now this building over here is relatively new. I would say maybe it's been open for about 6 months to tenants, maybe a year, maybe, maximum. I just got a bug in my mouth. Hold on a second. You little fucking shithead. Where was I? And how good is this view, by the way? Very nice. Yeah, I just got a bug in my mouth. See, this is the problem, because I'm trying to talk so much, and I got a fucking bug in the mouth, didn't I? Anyway, not a big deal. Hopefully it's not a poisonous bug, a toxic bug, a cancer bug, a corona bug, perhaps. I could be in trouble, folks. If you've ever wanted to send JLB a coffee, buy JLB a coffee, do it now, folks, while I can still enjoy the coffee, because my days might be numbered. I might be on borrowed time due to my toxic bugs. Yeah, boy, shit, man. Another thing I wanted to mention, by the way, I consider this view along this walk to be really nice at this time of the year. Don't for a second think that I'm living in some kind of paradise, because it's only like this for a few months of a year. I would say from say April, roughly. It depends on the seasons, obviously, but roughly from April through to maybe November. Maybe half of the year, maybe. It looks either nice and green, or at least it looks bearable. But the winter, man, the whole place is dead. Everything's dead. Everything. It's hideous, mate. But yeah, when it's nice, oh, I love this. When it's nice, I just come for my little walks, and then I listen to different podcasts. I listen to my truth uncle, Crazy Ab the Fakeologist.
That's true.
I listen to Tim Osmond, the president of the Infinite Plane Society.
I'm sorry, but anti-vax is a huge hoax.
I listen to Realize Radio, the lovely human vibration from Texas, and her dapper friend, Rambo, from Manchester.
You look back at the moon landing in 1969, that is fake as fuck. So cartoonish.
Yeah, it was a weird one, wasn't it, that?
I even listen to, I don't listen to Quantum of Conscience, he's more of a YouTube video dude, isn't he? But here's another QOC clip for you, if you don't mind.
Hey, First Amendment. Thanks a lot. Predictive programming. No, sorry.
Yeah, so anyway, I come for these walks, I listen to these podcasts, and then occasionally someone will say something like, oh, hold on, I have to pause for a second. I'll go to my little notepad on my phone and then type in 42 minutes and 24 seconds of whatever episode this dude said this, and then later on that day or a week later I'll go back and I'll clip that section, and that's how the clip shows come to be what they are. That's how it all happens, folks. That's where the magic happens, is on these walks, just listening. You know, there will come a time in the future when I'll look back and I'll be like, man, those were good days just walking around, listening to podcasts. Back in the 20s, the 20s, those were good times. Gather round, children, let me tell you about the 20s. Yes, we had some technology, we had phones, we had gimbals, we had this thing called YouTube where anyone could upload and you didn't even need to provide your identification to start a channel. And they'll be like, what do you mean you didn't have to provide your ID? And I'll be like, well, little Billy, the way it used to be is that your identification was for if the police pulled you over and you were driving an automobile. Or it was for when you wanted to board a flight to some other country. They had to check that you were who you said you were. It was for when you had to speak to the government about some issue. That's all you needed your ID for. It wasn't something that you needed to use just to log on to your internet. And they'll be like, what are you talking about, Happy John Le Bon? What do you mean log on to the internet? I'll be like, well, back in my day, the internet was something that you went and logged on to. Maybe for an hour here or a couple hours there. It wasn't just with you all the time. And they'll be like, do you mean when your Wi-Fi signal isn't working? And I'm like, no, it's okay, it's similar to that, but anyway. The good old days, the 20s.
What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Yeah, those were good times. The 20s, folks. There will come a time, my friends, when we will look back at these as the glory days. The 20s. What did you do with your youth, Papi? Well, I sat on the internet and complained a lot about stuff. What kind of stuff you complain about? Oh, just the usual. Taxes, government, the moronic masses. Oh, wow, that sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, well, it seemed like it at the time, little Billy. It really did. Seemed like we were using our time well. Felt like we were making a difference, little Billy. We wanted to make the world a better place for you, and for your kids and for your grandkids. Why'd you fail so miserably, Papi? Ah, well, the dice were loaded, Billy. We were playing with a stacked deck. Shit, man. What was I talking about? Something interesting, hopefully. Oh yeah, the clips. So here's what I'm going to do, folks. I've got like 200 clips that I haven't used for the clip show yet. So that's enough to do one clip show per week for the rest of the year without even listening to any more podcasts to look for clips.
The fashion industry has been out to kill you for many, many years.
And so my plan right now is to commit myself to one clip show per week for the rest of 2025 and get through my clips to be used folder. And I'm going to keep doing the conversations.
Christians should all know that NASA's full of shit. Every single Christian on this planet should be able to denounce NASA in the name of Jesus Christ.
That's really just dependent on the guests. If the right guests turn up, I can do 3 or 4 conversations a month. If none of the guests are available, then maybe there's no conversations in a month. It really just depends on the guests.
You spell badminton with Frank with an N-N-E on the end, badminton.
I'm really struggling here, folks. That bug. That was a toxic bug. I've got no water with me. I'm a bit parched, as they say.
Dave J might say Satan. A lot of people might say Satan. I don't know. Could be. It's happening.
So as much as I would like to keep recording this video and talking about all of the relevant things, I think we're going to have to wrap it up right there. Yes. I'm struggling over here. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to put a link in the pinned comment below. And if you want to see another one of these walk and talks, you know what you need to do. You need to get all of your money, all of it. Every last cent you can find. And you need to send it to John Le Bon. I mean literally all of it, man. I need you to search between the cushions on your couch. I need you to log into your old betting accounts or your old shopping preloaded accounts. Get all the money you can. Every last cent. And I need you to send it to John Le Bon. Or if you can't do that, at least buy JLB a coffee. That's the least you can do.
The audio quality, just top shelf.
And then JLB will come back tomorrow and talk about any topic you want, folks. Just make sure you include it. There's a little message section. And you can, like in your message, put, hey, I am whoever you are, and then put, I want you to talk about this topic or that topic. If you could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll just talk about whatever I want. I might talk about these freaking toxic bugs that have kind of ruined the last half of this video. I'm struggling over here, folks, I really am. And it's a great shame because we're just about to get to the best part of the walk where the forest section is. Yeah, boy. Maybe I should have brought a bottle of water. You know what? Let's just keep it rolling. Maybe I can push on through. I think I can actually. I think my body is now somehow clearing out the toxic bug from the system. The poison bug. The corona bug. Now look at this. You can kind of see the orange now. Okay, let's zoom in. Oh, that's beautiful. Very nice.
Nobody gets hurt and nobody dies ever, anywhere. You're all delusional.
All right, zooming out. And that's my little exercise park that I like to go to from time to time. And anyway, this is Plovdiv, folks. This is Eastern Europe, some little city that no one's ever heard of before. I mean, be honest with yourself. Before you heard of John Le Bon, had you ever heard of Plovdiv? Most likely you had not.
My demons didn't come out until I stopped doing drugs. Got more sober.
Most likely you hadn't. And that's no slight against you. Who the hell has heard of Plovdiv? Nobody. But it is a beautiful place. And you know what? I hope the world doesn't find out about this place. I don't want this place to be overrun by immigrants, man. The last thing this place needs is freaking immigrants. I'll tell you that right now for free. Yeah, boy, shit, man. But JLB, aren't you an immigrant? Well, technically, yes. Yes, I am. And what I'm saying is, we don't need any more of me here. I think I'm the last one we need. I think so. And I think we'll be just happy. Me and the Bulgarians here in beautiful Plovdiv, Bulgaria. That's what I think. Beautiful city, lovely people, very calm and relaxed. Oh, there you go. My voice is feeling much better now. Just took a few minutes. Maybe I'll edit some of that out. Or maybe I'll just leave it in there, who cares. This is a first run. It's actually a second run. I tried to do this last week. The freaking recording didn't work, but that's okay. No, this says it's recording, man. It says it's recording. And I fixed up my lapel mic. Because last time I had a bit of I used a badge to act as the lapel. And that didn't, or to act as the latch for the lapel, and that just didn't work. Well, it did work, but it made this clanky sound. So I've come up with a new solution for the lapel mic. I should have shown you guys at the start, actually. Take a look at this. This is how seriously I'm taking this. I've got the lapel going, the lapel mic. So all going well between the video, which should work this time, and the lapel audio. This should be a very professional little put together. And I'm going to upload this one to YouTube. And this could be the beginning of many. Folks, I could do one of these, maybe not every day because it's going to rain eventually, but every day that's not raining, I could do one of these almost every day, folks, and I'd be happy to. But what you need to do is to find every red cent to your name and send it to John Le Bon. I think that's the smartest thing to do right now. I think that's the only sensible thing, actually, is to send to John Le Bon your money. Send it all, folks. I know some people want to send water or blankets. Just send your cash. Just send all of it. Or if you can't send all of your money, okay, fair enough. Just buy JLB a coffee. Just go to that buy me a coffee option and send buy JLB a coffee. Like Typer. I think it was Typer Air, I'm not sure. I think it was him. Bought me 5 coffees today. I'm going to have one of them this evening on my little walk home. And then, yeah, I'm even tempted to take this gimbal with me into my favourite little cafe when I get my iced latte. And they'll be like, what are you doing? And I'll be like, I'm recording a YouTube video. Do you want to be on YouTube? And they will probably say, not particularly. And I'll be like, all right then, fair enough. Fair enough. Alrighty. What was I saying? Oh yeah, send me your money. Send it all. Well, don't send it all. Just buy me a coffee. Go to that little buy me a coffee link. And make sure you include in the message option the topic that you'd like me to talk about. Today we've talked about the masses. Should we blame the masses? QOC, or what do you think?
At this point, guys, I blame the masses.
And I've mentioned to you, what you want to do is go and listen to that free JLB clip show, episode number 21. I put it together a couple of days ago. A lot of time and effort into that one. I think you'll enjoy it. Many topics were discussed, including Chem is in the air. Yes, Tim Osman, the president of the Infinite Plane Society, he's sick of these chemi believers. You're sick of them. And you know what? I don't blame him. Because what he was saying was, in fact, I'll even play the clip for you. Here's just a few seconds of what Tim Osman, the president of the Infinite Plan Society, here's what he was saying just a few weeks ago. Listen to this.
But no, the chemtrail thing is that it's an absurdity. We've already debunked it. It's alternative media claptrap wokeism. And if you truly believed in it, you'd be wearing a mask by now. So it's not like anybody who believes in it takes it seriously.
Yeah, so what he was saying was that these people aren't really serious. If they really believed in the chemies in the air, they'd be wearing masks, is what he said. Interesting perspective, I have to say. Alright, so I've got some people looking at me, got some people staring at me, but I'm not going to record them. Going back to that thing I was mentioning earlier, unless they know this is for YouTube, I don't think it's appropriate. But look at all this rubbish, folks. This is no good. Look at this. Not good enough in my personal opinion. Look at all this rubbish, folks. Not good enough. Really not good enough. I'll tell you a true story, man. About a week, mate, let's say 2 weeks ago, I was here, and some of the gypsy kids had their horse, and they were playing in the water with the horse. It was a very hot day. Like I said, a week or two ago, it's been so hot for weeks now. Anyway, and so they're right here. Imagine there's a horse and a bunch of gypsy kids in the river. In fact, I'll just keep the camera here while I tell the story. Anyway, so the horse is in the middle there, and it's actually deeper than it looks, that little section. And one of the other kids picks up a shovel and goes and hits the horse on the bum. So the guy who was on the horse lost control of the horse for a second because the horse was trying to get away from getting hit on the bum by the shovel. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? And all the kids are laughing, having fun, except for the kid who was on the horse. It wasn't so fun for him. And then some lady from up there, she storms down and she starts yelling at him, in Bulgarian, I'm guessing. Like, just going nuts at him. Probably because, you know, she thinks they've done the wrong thing, hitting a horse with a shovel. It was very bizarre. Now, you know what I did? I just kept on walking. That's what I did. I didn't stop and watch any of the commotion. I just got the hell out of there. None of my business. Now, can we see a frog? No, I can't see any. What is it? Alright, where were we? Oh yeah, the commotion. The commotion with the gypsies and the horse and the shovel. Anyway. But we're heading back towards the centre. Alright, so we're currently heading west now. And as you get closer towards the centre, there are less gypsies and horses. Man, the gypsies get a really bad rap, man. The locals, they're not the biggest fans of the gypsies. The gypsies haven't really done anything wrong to me. I don't have any beef with the gypsies, man. I think they're just trying their best, just like we all are, you know. We're all just trying our best with what we've been given. Isn't that right? Yes, I'm in a very zen mode lately. I'm just like, you know what, it is what it is. Isn't that right, Linda?
It is what it is.
Isn't that right, Fast Value?
Yeah, like I said, it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Try not to judge the people, you know what I mean? They're all just doing their best. We're all just trying our best, folks. And for some of us, our best is wake up, hit the snooze button a couple times, eventually get up, take a quick shower, jump in the car, go to the same place as always, do the same thing as always, come back, watch the same shit on TV as always, go to bed. For some people, that's the best, man. And so long as they're happy. So long as they're happy, that's the most important thing, I think. What was I talking about? I forgot. Hopefully it was something interesting. Hopefully it was... Oh, that's right, you got to send me your money, folks. Yes, very important. Send me your cash, all of your cash. Any cash you've got, you got to send it right now. Or, okay, better idea. Buy me a coffee and give me an idea of topics to talk about on tomorrow's Walk and Talk. Otherwise, I'll just keep playing these clips I'll play clips from my crazy truth uncle, lab defecologist.
I always got excited when they brought a new wife into the family. That was always fun.
I'll play clips from my other crazy truth uncle, Dave J. Crazy Dave J, as he likes to be called.
I don't like people bringing in fear and loathing for any reason, especially for an overly juicy tangerine.
I'll play clips from Drunken Rollo from Sydney, or from Newcastle, whatever it is.
Guys, do you remember me?
I'll play clips from Velicet from Sydney.
I'm not trying to kill your dog.
I'll play clips from the lovely Sarah.
So I had the other question, who would you want to be handcuffed to for 24 hours? And I said JLB.
I'll do it, folks. Don't think I won't. Unless it's raining, then I won't. Then you should think that I won't. If it's raining, I'm not coming out here. Not going to do it. I'll stay home. I'll stay inside. That's what I'll do. Ooh, it's still so warm here, folks. I'm guessing it's still at least 27 or 28 degrees Celsius. At least. What's that in your freedom units? Like 85, man? I think it's at least 80 to 85 degrees. Maybe more. It's a warm day. It's a warm day, it really is. Okay, we're kind of running out of steam here, aren't we, folks? All right, let's wrap it up. So, I want to say a big thanks to Typo Error for buying me a coffee. I want to say a big thanks to Tom Foolery, who sent through a completely unsolicited tip recently, and I used it to buy this DJI gimbal, which hopefully has worked this time. Better have. And I want to say thanks to all the people who support what I do at johnlebon.com and at Bonversations. And I want to tell you, if you're looking for some fresh, dynamic, new content to listen to for free, you want to go and check out that latest JLB clip show. It includes a new track by the Metascriptors. That's right. The Metascriptors are back with a brand new track, and it is taking the chill house, what do you call that thing? Billboard hits. It's taking the chill house section of the Billboard hits here in Bulgaria by storm. And it's called China Syndrome. In fact, I'll even play the first few seconds of it for you right now. So go and check out that latest JLB clip show. I think you're going to enjoy it. Okay, everybody. In fact, let's turn it around so you can see. There it is. I'm back, folks. All right. Hope you enjoyed this walk and talk. Brought to you by Tom Foolery, by Typo Error, and by your main man, John LeBon. Coming to you from beautiful Plovdiv, Bulgaria, which in my opinion is a beautiful city, a wonderful city, very good people, fantastic people, maybe the best people. And this is where I hope to stay. Okay, everybody, bye-bye, ciao, ciao.
You guys agree, surely, that there's this weird ideology that's taken over.
It's just like, what are we doing here?
That's fucking weird.
It's insane.
If I had a lot of sex, I bet I don't give too many shits about what I can buy or sell.
I'm not complaining about it, so we can just strike that from the record.
Was he laying pipe?
I'm sure he was, yeah. All night long.
Come on. That's silly. It's just silly. You know nothing. Admit it.
What are you going to do about it? You going to call the cops?
I've lost my train of thought now.
That sounds like the John LeBon stealing my voice again.
I have to say that both JLB and Velicet are responsible for some pure comedy gold with the sound drops. Just perfect in execution.
I'd say sober Velicet for truth, man.
He's like a cactus with cream filling or something. If you want to get to the good part, you have to get past all the prickly thorns and everything to get inside.